Welcome to a Monday edition of Happy Hour, and I had to play it twice because for some reason it didn't come up with the screen there. But all good. Glad you're along. Happy Monday. Got all kinds of things to get to here in the virtual world as we go today. Number 58 here in whatever this is. It's not really, at least in Dallas, it's not really quarantine, but it's not really self-isolation, but it's not really normal. Nothing about this is even remotely normal. So what we do is we continue to do what we've been doing. That's entertain ourselves, talk amongst ourselves at the virtual pub. Now, granted, some of the virtual pubs are open, others aren't, but this one is open. The real pubs aren't open, but this one's open. So we're glad you're along, and we hopefully, if you need to simulate a patio or a bar stool, this is the right place to be. Glad you're along. Actually, going to pull up a couple things here on the show. First off, going to show this little graphic here on the show. There you go. On the show today, we've got. I stumbled across an article. Don't know why it even came up in my news feed, but I like to see it when the man gets played. The man got played. The big man got played. I mean, we're talking mega corporation got played, and it kind of was a chuckle. I saw a couple of chuckles with this one, along with another little pizza chuckle as well. I get that to you. And then also, I try to explain. I'm going to give you a reason you know you've arrived as a father figure when the following happens. I'm going to kind of give you that little tidbit as a little discussion with Caroline and I had yesterday that will kind of maybe have me scratching my head going, wait, I guess that's what dads do. They explain life pondering questions. Of course, my wife will join us. The dog's running around here somewhere, and we will start off with my first topic to get to today, and it's so I pull up here we go. You'll see Ryan out there. I'm behind today because I was listening to Ryan's show at lunchtime. I don't know if you guys saw this a couple hours ago. Of course, you saw over the weekend that Fred Willard passed away. Most recently was seen on Modern Family, but for most of us, we all remember him from the movie The Mighty Wind and Best in Show, those movies. And that was the weekend story. And then Ken Osmond, which may or may not mean anything to you. I don't know if the words or the name Ken Osmond means anything. And we're not talking a member of the Osmond family, I don't believe. But we all knew this character growing up. At least if you're 40 and up, I would think. And I would even say maybe in your 30s, but at least 40 years and older, you know this character. Everybody knew this character that Ken Osmond played. And it's the only character I ever recall him playing. I don't remember him being anything else. But the greatness of Leave It to Beaver, Ken Osmond played the character of Eddie Haskell. We all knew Eddie Haskell, right? We all had an Eddie Haskell in our lives. Who did not have an Eddie Haskell? There's probably one or two you still know today. I've got a nephew that kind of has an Eddie Haskell streak in him. I mean, there's all a little bit, not my nephews in Dallas, but so it's not Bitter or Maxwell, but there are. We all knew the Eddie Haskell character, right? I'm pulling up a couple of things. I'm watching three screens at once here. But hey, yes, Nate, before your time. See, and that's the weird thing. I'm going to talk more about that on Wednesday because I didn't get a chance to dive into the whole thing. But I'm going to talk more about some TV shows on Wednesday that kind of that seemed old to me, really old when I was a kid, but are really, 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 really old now. I mean, for example, Leave It to Beaver was in black and white, and it seemed like it was made in the 1910s or 20s. But it was only about 20 years old when I saw it back as a kid. And now, of course, it's way before a lot of our times. We're going to see you, Nate, out there. We're doing well, my friend. But yes, Eddie Haskell. And if you don't know who Eddie Haskell was, you don't know Leave It to Beaver. For you folks that are 40 and older, Leave It to Beaver classic. If you lived in the Metroplex, for example, Leave It to Beaver reruns were always on Channel 11 back in the day, KTVT before Channel 11 became CBS and Fox and all that mess. Back in those days, it was an independent station. And back in those days, they ran all the old cartoons, all the old Gilligan's Islands, all the old Munsters, and all the old shows. Brady Bunch, which wasn't that old then. Brady Bunch was only just into syndication then. But all the old shows, Dick Van Dyke, you name it. Channel 11 ran that, and a lot of the super stations on the cables of the 80s ran it too. But Leave It to Beaver was one of those shows that as a kid growing up, I saw dang near every episode, and again, thought it was way, way, way before my time as well. But looking back in the 70s, it wasn't that far back. We'll talk more about that on Monday, or Wednesday. But again, Ken Osmond passing away today, and Ray, rest in peace. And but Ken Osmond played Eddie Haskell, and I pulled a couple things up on the show. I can find it here. I've got one thing about being outside here is that I can't always, as I got to mute the guest about to join me here. See what's going on there. Oh, my mom. I'm going to put my mom on the moment. I'll bring the audio down just for a second. Mom's coming up in a moment, but around the corner. First off, 5 fast facts you need to know about Eddie Haskell. Okay, these are the things that I pulled up just quickly. And this all happened a few hours ago, so I didn't get a chance to really dive in. But did you know that Ken Osmond, Eddie Haskell, after he was Eddie Haskell, he retired from acting, he became an LA police officer. He survived being shot 3 times as a policeman in LA. How about that? Did you know that? Eddie Haskell retired and went on to be a policeman for a number of years. He died at 76. Also, do you guys remember the new Leave It to Beaver that was on, what was that, 1987 or so? Both of Osmond's sons were in the reboot in the late 80s. How about that? Also, he wrote in a memoir, Eddie, the Life and Times of America's Preeminent Bad Boy. And let's see here. There was an urban legend. Did you guys know this one? Alice Cooper was apparently an urban legend that he was actually Eddie Haskell, and that he and Osmond were the same person in real life. Not true. That was an urban legend going around. Not a true story, but that was urban legend. And the 5th thing, he was actually, and I didn't know this, but he was involved on Twitter late in life. I had no idea. 76 years old, Ken Osmond, Eddie Haskell, and it got me thinking, who was the Eddie Haskell in your world? Did you have an Eddie Haskell? And if you don't know what Eddie Haskell is, Eddie Haskell was the character on Leave It to Beaver who was always, hello, Mrs. Cunningham. You look so nice, Mrs. Cunningham. Boy, the pie is not great, Mrs. Cunningham. But behind the scenes, he was a rebel rouser, trouble causer, stirring the crap up, right? He was that guy. Mom and Dad thought he was really cool. Mrs. Cleaver thought he was really cool. But behind the scenes, Eddie Haskell was a troublemaker, but in front of the Cleavers, he was just all Eddie, and that's where the term Eddie Haskell came from. You ever heard that term? Well, that's an Eddie Haskell. Well, I don't know if you guys have any Eddie Haskells in your world, but that was the headline to me today. Isn't that scary? With my headline, it's not what Trump just claims he took medicine-wise. It's about Eddie Haskell passing. That's my world. So, all good. Glad you're along. Got my Ultra Pure Gold. I'll talk about that in a moment. Not a sponsor, so no need to do that. We're going to go to Mom Cam now. We're going to bring her in from the state of Indiana, the town of Pawnee. And Mom is live with my brother, too. Mom and Bobby Cam. So we type that in there. And Mom, can you hear me? Over.
I can hear you.
What are you doing? I just drinking again or what?
Huh?
What?
Well, I'm having wine, but I'm courtesy of Steph and Uncle Bobby. I had a steak and shake.
A shake and steak or steak and shake?
Well, whatever. One direction or the other. I didn't have the shake. I had the steak on the bun.
Huh. That's an interesting thing. You didn't go to Wings, etc.? What's wrong with you?
Well, I do what my keepers provide for me.
Huh.
What are you having?
Pretzels and beer.
Oh, That works.
Did you see where Eddie Haskell passed away, Mom?
No, when? Today?
Yeah, Eddie Haskell from Live the Mirror. Did you know any Eddie Haskells? Do we have any?
In our family?
Yeah.
We
Well,
probably
not our
don't.
family, but not our family. I mean, I guess Bennett kind of is Eddie Haskell, my nephew, but I was thinking more of my nephew down in Houston that's Eddie Haskell. But I mean, do we have any friends that were Eddie Haskells that always you look great, Mrs. Vaughn. You look, was there an Eddie Haskell in our friend group?
I'm thinking Johnny Moore might have been one.
Okay, well, Johnny not here to defend himself, but all good. We'll have to let that pass that on.
And Ryan Hyatt says
Let's see.
Mom's.
Yep, Mom's on camera. Yeah, she got some muscle there, and Uncle Bobby behind her. Uncle Bobby looks a bit like one of those really like scary bodyguard, or a little bit like Mike from Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul too. My wife will be joining us in a moment. But so you guys, you survived the family Zoom call. Did you realize we had a family Zoom call last night? And this is the dots: Dallas, Denver, San Fran, Seattle, Elkhart, Indiana, Kansas City, and back to Dallas again. How about that, Mom?
I know. How crazy is that?
Actually, 2 stops in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, and 2 stops in Dallas.
No, I said that. I said Dallas to Dallas. Of course, we started here and ended over at Margate. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that was fun. It was like a bunch of bees, though, trying to get attention.
My wife says that her brother was totally an Eddie Haskell. Cliff, not here to defend himself, but all good. Yeah, he's a bit of an Eddie Haskell. He is. His kid. He's his kid. His boy is Eddie Haskell Jr. Then, because he is like the most Eddie. He's that kid that like is so nice, but tells on his sister when she walks out of the room. It's like,
I wonder, maybe in our family would that be Chris?
Yeah.
Salesman or Eddie Haskell.
Yeah. Nope. Wrong way. Hold on. Sorry about that. Eating on the air. Uncle Bobby, how are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Just trying to run my wife out of the house. About all.
We got the nephews in town for a week or so.
Yeah, I saw that. What are y'all doing? Y'all like building like stuff and tearing up stuff? And
I put them to work today. We're getting the pool ready. Getting ready to open the pool this week.
I thought maybe you're diagramming a new offense with them or something, having them put together some games. Kids, go down and give me a 4 wide set. I need some 4 wide set plays, please.
Well, we got the pool open. We got the pool opened up today and started the pump and everything. So getting ready for this weekend. It's supposed to be 80 degrees here this weekend, I think. So we'll get
80 degrees. It's 91 today.
It's rained all day. It rained all day yesterday, and it's just overcast all day today.
We're supposed to have flooding, and the creek running by their house is going pretty fast. So they have to worry about Ryan and Grant not getting in the creek and floating down the river to my place. Oh, they won't float down to my place.
The Cajun Hideaway, as the Alabama song says. Okay, well, all good. So that sounds like fun, though. All I'm getting is, Mom, you're off the screen now. Are you like making a drink or what?
Do it yourself. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
When you talk, you show yourself.
I know. Well, he was talking to him.
You got some strange camera work, Mom.
Well, hey, here comes one. Hey, Grant, come here. We got a visitor here.
A visitor.
There's crap over there. No, you're
Over here.
turn it so the world doesn't see my crap on the table, the counter, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to see Stephanie's crap.
Here's Grant.
Aw.
Hello, Grant. How are you, mate?
That's Uncle Bobby's brother. You know that. He's waiting on help from the inside, I think. Right?
Is he Eddie Haskell?
No, I would say Ryan is Eddie Haskell.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say Ryan. He's outside still. I would say he's Eddie Haskell.
Yeah. Well, the world lost a great American today. That's hate to see that, but Ken Osmond.
Was his real name Eddie Haskell?
Ken Osmond was his name, and here's a funny. I was just reading some facts. The guy was shot 3 separate times as an LA police officer after he retired from the show. But do you guys remember back in the 70s how I mean, that was part of our TV watching was Leave It to Beaver around on Channel 11. That was. It seemed like it was an old show, but it wasn't that old, was it? 20 years old?
Well, who knows? I didn't watch TV. I was too busy cooking for you
She
guys.
didn't have TVs when she was a kid.
Yeah, I know they made mud patties and walked the old holler back.
Yeah, back when wheels were square, as Stephanie said.
Did y'all used to start your car with the old crank like? Did you know Charlie Chaplin? And how was he? Was he cool?
I'm not going to say anything because it would be R-rated.
Don't be R-rated. What?
The wasp out here, Caroline.
Oh, there's a wasp out here. Apparently, Caroline's not here, so she likes wasps. Well, all good. Anything else? What's on for dinner tonight for up there in Indiana?
Steak and shake.
Oh, you just told me that. I thought that was lunch.
Well, it's 6:30 here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's an hour ahead.
Well, it was my lunch and dinner. I had a banana for lunch, I guess, because I when you get up at 9 or 10 o'clock,
Did you wash your hands?
and when my electricity went down about 3 in the morning. Did y'all go out? Yeah, our electricity went down south, so it was. So I think 86 homes were affected. I don't know what in the heck happened, but who knows?
Y'all didn't pay your bills or what?
I did, but
Okay. Then maybe that Indiana didn't or something. I didn't know.
I don't know. I pay mine online, so they got their money.
All right. Well, you guys have a lot of fun up there. I got to bring my
Okay.
wife over.
Okay.
Love you guys.
We'll open up the live for somebody else.
Love you. Bye.
I love you too.
Bye.
Hey, wait. Hey, hang on.
What?
Stephanie.
Bye. Hi, Stephanie. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yes. There we go. There's the fam. That is Mom Cam, Uncle Bobby, and Mom Cam. Uncle Bobby, actually, his name is Sam. My brother Sam. But for some reason, we should have asked him this. But many moons ago, when Bennett, who is now 20 years old, when he was a little whippersnapper in diapers, he very much Eddie Haskell today. He was he knew who I was, Uncle Danny, and all that. He poured this. My brother Sam, he said, Uncle Bobby. We're not sure where that came from. So he's been called Uncle Bobby, and he's not even nicknamed Bobby. His middle name's not Bobby, Uncle Bobby. So all good. So time to bring the wife in here as we unplug this. So let me pull this down. Hold on just a second here, and let me do a little producing on the fly, and put that up and slide them over here. There we go. The wife is here, and this is couple cam right here.
Max wanted to join us.
Where is he? Oh, he's right there. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but Eddie Haskell, well, his real name, Ken Osmond, passed earlier today. So I hate to see that, but that was a show that I was just thinking that at least in this market, how that was such a huge deal.
Well, these days, if I mention to a kid in class, good Lord, you don't need to be an Eddie Haskell, they're like, what? They have no idea.
All right, I want to go ahead and say this. Well, go ahead. Let's just do some couple stuff because I'll save it for a little bit later on when you have to go start dinner, don't you, at some point?
I don't know. I'm on tonight. You're not. You're off. This is like right over my face.
But I'll pull the virtual down. So what's going on, wife?
I've been in like a cleaning frenzy. I've been doing like bedspreads and shams and.
You have a particularly interesting story on two things. A, give me a full report of how the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex was at, say, high noon today when you were at the SARS Mart. Grocery store.
It was like it has been for the past couple of weeks. I mean, except for it's just sunnier and warmer. People are wearing masks. In fact, before you go into CVS, because I had to pick up one of your things, before you go into CVS or TomTom, it says mask. Before you come in, masks are required by law. So you can't go in without a mask to CVS or TomTom or anything like that. People were wearing masks for their kind. There weren't a lot of people. I wasn't in line for a long time. There were paper towels. There was toilet paper. I got mega rolls of Cottonelle. Welcome back to the house. I have been able to find Bounty paper towels all but one time, and we haven't hoarded anything. We haven't stockpiled anything. They do have a limit on meat, but because I bought salmon and ground turkey, that's not included in the shortage of chicken and beef. So I was able to buy, like burgers and chicken breasts, but I also bought salmon and I bought ground turkey. So I got everything I needed.
It looked like a crazy experience because you have plenty of goods. We're all good.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the thing is like we normally don't spend this much on groceries, but we're not eating out at all. I mean, like yogurt once a week for $20, that's it. Maybe we'll order out once. I mean, we're just not spending a lot on restaurants, although I think it might be a good idea for us to continue to support the ones we really like. Actually, the one that I would want to support, like Matchbox, have wanted that Nashville hot chicken sandwich for forever. They're not open. We've done Tupinam and El Phoenix. Those are the Texas staples. We haven't done barbecue yet. You did Chinese the other night from like a Chinese restaurant, not just like takeout. But we haven't been doing much of that, which is good for the budget. I mean, but it's weird. I mean, but my grocery bills are huge.
Yeah, there's a trade-off. The gas bill's gone down. I haven't filled up a Petro since March 10th.
Yeah, gas, dry cleaning.
Yeah, dry cleaners.
Haircuts. I need to go to the dry cleaners. You've had a full bag for a while. They may be offering deals.
But I honestly, I think I've worn jeans twice, maybe once since we've been. I think one of those days is the flight back from Belize, and then the other day it may have been Easter. I can't remember. I think I wore shorts that day.
You did.
So I mean, it's crazy. So, how is everybody doing? Hey, reason we're here, a virtual happy hour on Monday. We're in day 58, 91 degrees here in the Metroplex. Yes, Texas has opened up a little bit more today, probably leading the way. Now, if you
but a lot of people aren't comfortable.
What?
But a lot of people just aren't comfortable with it yet.
Well, I mean, that's not what I was going to say. I was saying that, some people are venturing more out, some aren't, but it's more and more, and we're getting closer to a more, I want to say, we're never going to be back to a real norm for us. It's going to be different. Everything we do is going to be a little bit different, but hey, it's
a cure.
And of course, the other, I got to chuckle this too because I got to tell you, okay, I'm not trying to avoid politics here, but I'm going to get drawn on sides a little bit here. It's probably going to, and some folks may think this is ridiculous that this happened, but so I'm watching the news about an hour ago, and it's the daily, whatever Trump was doing conference somewhere, right? He announces it very matter of fact, as if he ain't got nothing to hide, that he's taken that Osglid, it's the malaria drug that some folks.
Does he have SARS?
No, that some people believe helps with the COVID. They're not sure. Some doctors say it helps. Some say it doesn't. There's been some really controversial, but he's like, my doctor said it's not going to hurt me.
The hydrochloride.
Yes, that's it. And so he mentions, and I got to tell you. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for, and I'm not going to tell you why I voted for, but I got to tell you, I got to like it when a politician just says, I'm taking this. I mean, have you ever heard a politician ever say, I'm taking this, I'm taking this? Usually you get it in the doctor's report, like when they go their physical. There's like an official White House physical, and the doctor lists all the things that are going good and bad. The public knowledge. He just skips that and says, I'm taking this Hydra, whatever thing it is, and all of a sudden you heard this murmur, and the thing is this murmur in the press conference. All these reporters are like,
oh my gosh, does he have COVID?
He just say that? And they ask him to repeat himself, things like, I don't know, no big deal. Again, I'm not telling you. I just thought it was very funny because all of a sudden you could hear within about 2 minutes, your Twitter was on fire, and I just love to watch. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I love in this day and age how one statement like that within 2 minutes, and suddenly it was on Fox and CNN and on Twitter and it was on Facebook and it was all around the place.
But the stock market's going crazy today.
As I'm trying to read about Eddie Haskell's passing. So I mean, it's not.
That's more important.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a person of our youth. By the way, Paul Morgan out there, I was watching a moment ago. Paulie, if you got time, we'd love to say hello to you and the kids. The link's right there. I'm sure it's a busy morning.
I would love to see them.
I love it when the man gets it, because most of my life, all my life, I've worked for the man. I'm one of those guys. I work for the man, and oftentimes big corporations that these.
Why is it called the man?
I don't know, but you got all these big funded
Women.
these big funded deals, and one of them is DoorDash. A lot of folks put a lot of cash to DoorDash, right? They put a lot of cash into it, and to me, it seems like a pretty good company. But I love it when somebody beats the system, and not really in a bad way, but
Somebody beat the system?
Well, what happened was, and this is, I'm going to kind of paraphrase the story. Is a gentleman owns a pizza place, right? Small mom and pop pizza joint. Well, he basically, the way the story it reads, is that what happens at DoorDash and some of these computer outfits online, they basically scare the heck out of you and shame you into being a part of what they're doing, because they'll tell you, they'll go online and they'll say, they'll, like in this story, they basically went online on the reviews and said that the place delivered when they didn't deliver. And so headline: a pizza owner makes money buying his own $24 pizzas from DoorDash for $16. That got my intrigue going, huh? So a guy bought his own pizzas and made money off of it. Well, and here's the story goes, is that, well, anyway, I'm going to kind of get to the bottom of the whole thing, but this guy owns pizza restaurants. I didn't say where exactly, but he was charged, pizza he was charged $24 for was listed for $16 on DoorDash. So DoorDash had already decided they were going to deliver for this guy without even consulting him. They were going to charge $16. So the guy goes figures, hey, you know what? They don't know it's me. He orders from DoorDash pizza from himself at one price to see the economic effect. Now I'm no banker here, but it sounds like some smart economics for me. So basically, and I'm going to read the quote here if I can find it here. But
No, it must have been he was charging 16 and DoorDash charged
he
24.
realized that a delivery option had mysteriously appeared on his company's Google listing. The delivery option was created by DoorDash, he said. So he didn't offer delivery, but all of a sudden it shows up that he's got delivery. And it goes here, talk about yourselves, but
But they're charging more.
someone can pay DoorDash $16 a pizza, and DoorDash should pay his restaurant $24 a pizza. They should clearly just order pizza himself via DoorDash all day long. So he cleared $8 per pizza.
That's funny.
So he ordered 10 pizzas, thinking, okay, well, let's just have a bit of a joke about it. Turns out he ordered like $75 of pizzas. And you see the thing that the snowball, apparently,
And they can give them away.
yeah, he basically is what was going on. So,
That's hilarious.
but the thing is, what I didn't realize that some of these companies, these big mega companies who've got all this backing, they basically do, what they do is, for example, this guy didn't deliver himself. He didn't offer delivery himself. So DoorDash basically steps in and says, we're going to deliver for this guy. We're not going to tell him. He doesn't know. This is all done behind his back. They're offering his pizzas for $16, willing to take a loss to get the business of you, the customer. So this guy is going to, this guy's kind of, he's not making any money from DoorDash. He wasn't making any money from DoorDash. DoorDash was making the money from the customer, and they were losing some money because they're losing it in the transaction. But the idea was for them to eventually, get more DoorDash customers, not just for him, but for other restaurants as well. And I thought, why would they shame the guy into doing that and scare the guy into that and kind of bullying him into doing that, which is what the premise is. They want to get you on. What they do is they take your Google ad and tell you, hey, this guy doesn't deliver, but we'll deliver for you. Shame this guy into doing DoorDash is what the guy kind of got the last laugh of making $8 a pizza. So anyway, I got to chuckle at that today. Sorry if that's offends anyone, but oh well.
Why would that have been?
I don't know. People, we have soft skin these days. Have you seen the Dallas field doctor speaking at Dealey Plaza, the malaria drug? No, I did not see that. Did you see that, honey?
I've been cleaning all day.
Yeah, I mean, again, my
And watching some kind of flip show.
flip show. And the other item that I had today, you're not really contributing to the show, so I'm just continuing my topics here.
Because you don't include me in the
Well,
show.
no, but you just started talking about the grocery store trip. I know it was.
You asked me how was.
I know, but I wanted some hard hitting insight.
There was no insight.
Oh, okay. How do I know, or how did I know that I arrived as a bonus dad? Well, yesterday, this question came up to me by Caroline. We're sitting right here at this very spot having steak dinner last night, And she asked me, in a very inquisitive adult way a 20-year-old would ask you, she asked me, can beer be vegan or is beer vegan? She asked me both questions, and I looked at her kind of funny. I said, and so I said, well, you know what? Beer can be organic, which is what this Ultra Pure Gold is. It's organic. And then we talked about, remember the beer was vegan thing?
Yeah.
I said, well, all beer would be technically vegan because you don't make beer out of meat, although I do believe there's some bacon infused.
She thought that was gross.
There was some bacon infused beer somewhere.
She thought that was
And I've had plenty of raspberry beer, so you can actually, and things like that, fruity beer. But technically, you can make a beer flavored anything would make it not vegan. But anything, basically, beer is vegan. Now, if it's organic or not, that's a different story. I told her. So we went back and forth this conversation, and then she was this was not a bit. She was actually interested if beer could be vegan. And I felt like I did my job as a bonus dad explaining that beer could not only be vegan, it can also be organic or not organic.
That's how you knew you arrived as a bonus dad?
Yeah, I knew I'd really arrived to give sage advice to a young 20-year-old daughter that, yes, beer could be vegan. It could not be vegan,
Thank
too.
you for your help.
Yes, I'm doing the best I can here in this COVID age we live in. All right, what else is going on? Anybody else got anything good out there? Those are my three things: DoorDash, Leave It to Beaver, and Ken Osmond, and then vegan beer. What's for dinner in our house tonight?
Quesadillas.
Quesadilla.
Yeah, that was a Declan thing. Quesadilla.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do quesadillas. We have those carb balance tortillas and some chicken and some onions and cheese and.
I told you this morning, I did think that the neighborhood was very busy. I mean, what I've noticed lately, even as I usually do our walks either together or separate, but usually from the window of say 8:30 until about to 8:30 to like 11. All kind of depends on the day, and maybe
early my meetings are.
Yeah, maybe a little earlier on a Monday, a little later on a Saturday, whatever. But I've been noticing a lot of folks walking both. Early in the morning and the afternoon as well. But today was the first day I didn't see as many dudes out.
I saw a ton on the way to the store. In fact, I remember thinking, I need to tell him that I saw more men out.
It looked like I was the only male in the neighborhood out today.
The men slept in.
It was like all these groups of the housefrows around the neighborhood were all running around the neighborhood, and it was me. I felt really odd, like maybe they're all giving me the real stink eye, like, what's he doing out and about in the neighborhood during the daytime? Does he know that the salons are open and he can go back to work?
No,
I don't work at a salon,
is the women, because we tend to get up early to get things done, the men were all still asleep.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
They were up and at 'em. In fact, there were more of them at the store than women.
Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it because I was.
And there were a bunch. In fact, I saw Howard Hand walking.
Don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. The former St. Mark's math teacher that lives on the corner with the two little Pomeranian dogs.
Okay, well, I don't know who that is. But okay.
I saw him, and I saw the guy that lives one street over with the little black and white dog. And then I saw lots of males I didn't know. And in the store, there was a guy who got into his car who had the most gorgeous chocolate lab pit bull mix, and it had this like pattern on its chest that looked like a dove, and so he named him Dove. He was a beautiful dog.
Mask or no mask in the SARS Mart today?
They're required by law. I had it on, absolutely.
Still required by law?
That's what I just said. There was a sign on the door.
We didn't wear them to the yogurt shop. Some people did.
If you're going to go into an essential business like CVS or Tom Thumb, you have to have a mask on. There's a sign on the door. CVS won't let you in without a mask.
June 3rd, Italy's opening again. Are you excited about that?
No.
Belize opening up as well. Are you excited about that?
Very excited about that.
There's that. Exciting news from the production department. Hard at work. We've got not one but two wireless mics. Hopefully by this time next week we'll sound much better. I don't know, but hopefully we won't be sound. You won't hear this sound like we're in a rocket ship, whatever this is over here. Yeah. And actually, I got one little contraption where we can use little earpieces. So if we ever did have guests on, you could actually hear them, not to say over.
People can hear us.
Oh, I can't hear them, like we did on Friday, but
Oh,
all good.
okay.
Okay, so what else is going on, Mark?
Well, the big news is that you were cleaning out crap up there. That's like headline worthy around here, because he's a pack rat. And I swear, in a former life, he was a hoarder. Because
A what?
a hoarder,
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
not a whore, a hoarder. Yeah, he's not a hoarder. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Anyway, yeah, he was a hoarder. Like his Zuka is full of. I was like, do you need baggies to like organize this? He has stuff everywhere. His drawers, not the kind he wears on his body, but his actual drawers of his desk, and the little drawers next to him, they're just full of crap. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to clean this out." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did lightning strike the house? This is fantastic."
The next project is to go through those drawers and pull out the cables and things I don't need. The ones I do, I ordered some little. I had a bunch of these. I don't know where they went. The little Velcro ties, I love it. The little Velcro, they're great for cables and for all that stuff. And I ordered another thing of those. I used to have.
Because in your head, you are organized, but you're just not.
I'm just trying to get because there was 2 years ago when I went to Canada, or 3 years ago, the 2017 season going to KC, because I moved everything down here from Gary to here, and from Indiana to here, and so I kind of went through and reorganized, and I was all organized. And my goal is to get reorganized. Again, this is part of making things better for when I do go back to some normalcy, is to be able to find things easier and have a better organized system. Because I've got a lot of little gadgets and things, and like for example today, I found a little selfie stick, which is cool, but also doubles as part of a tripod, which I'd forgotten I even had because it was in that box.
It's like your clothes. You don't even know what you have in your closet. He's got clothes in bags with tags that he's never worn, never seen. Nothing. I don't know what he's saving them for, but you have all sorts of crap. Yeah, but how do I exorcise that demon, Celesta? Like, can I send him to some kind of shaman? Can I do some kind of charm? Can I put some holy water on him? Like, what's going to work? I would like to get rid of that.
Well, going through my stuff today, I realized I didn't need 2 cables, just needed 1.
So you threw away 1 cable?
No. For these new wireless mics, I'm going to have to make a conversion back to XLR cables, and I needed an XLR connector, and I didn't know if I needed 2 connectors or 1. I already had a brand new cable that I had as an emergency backup in case something went down. It's a long-time emergency cable. It's ready to go. And then I ordered one connector that that's all I didn't need another one, is what I'm saying. So it's good. So yes, I did do a little of that, so that's good.
Well, you're not finished.
No, I got more stuff to do.
This trash can had 1 thing in it. I know he's not finished.
No, but I mean, I have this awesome office upstairs, but it's not real. How do I put it? It's not real conducive to shooting and doing vlogs and all that. It's not real conducive to it because the way I've got it set up. It's a rectangular room, basically. Would you call it that? It's a rectangular setup. So I'm not making the most of the space, and I need to make more use of the space. I can clear up more tabletop, so I can have more studio space. Let's just say, for example, I had to go. I had to do an interview on the radio or something real quick. I could do it without having. Right now, I got to set everything up. It's great. I have a really nice setup upstairs. But every time I do anything, I have to set it up, and that takes 15, 20 minutes. I got to bring it down and all that. I like to be able to just be able within 5 minutes go boom, I'm ready to go on the air, and having to put my lighting up and all that stuff. So anyway, let's see.
First world problems.
Yeah, first world problems. Dan is gonna take some work, and we have to go rob a Radio Shack.
Oh, a Radio Shack.
Yeah, they don't have those anymore, do they?
No.
No.
They
Mom.
just have really cool Christmas toys.
Mom says I still have boxes of clothes there. Yeah, I probably do. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What to tell you? I mean,
I cleaned out his stuff at your house, Celesta, and I cleaned out his shed here. It's a never-ending thing. He hoards all over the country. There's crap in his office in Kansas City. There's probably still shit in Gary.
You have to say that word.
Yeah, because that's what it was.
What do you think? You think it's bar rescue here or something? I mean, good Lord gracious. Anyway. Yes, so pick on me today. But hey, that's all right. I did make a little progress. I love Office, and but I like trying to make it more efficient to be able to do more. For me, you got to create content now because I'm not doing it because the T-Bone's on dry dock. I got to create some content, and so I've got to make it easier for me to do that all around, whether it be a graphic like I did today for Facebook and Twitter, or if it's something something for the show or video highlights or whatever. I need to be able to, I need to also at the same time, if my mate Paul in Australia was want to do a show, we could do it. We could do it in a couple, I can do it in a reasonable amount of time, not scrambling around. And before this time of year, I'm between suitcases and all that and traveling with the ball club. And since we're not doing that right now, I'm trying to make the most of that time, maybe more efficient, and also improve my skills a little bit too. So good to see Zach Law out there, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, and you and your family as well. God blessings to you. Let's see here. Mom says she liked to see. That's an example. Like the steakhouse graphic. There's a new steakhouse. I don't have it, do I? It's the one I'm doing for Wednesday's show.
Virtual. Oh no, your virtual.
Because my staff is me. I don't have. It's just me right now. I don't have any. During the season, I've got 5 to 8 interns, but right now it's just me. And it's
usually just you.
Well, usually just me, but I have to do. And I forget because when you do all the, you got to. There's a lot of. I'm still trying to learn too. I spent most of the weekend watching YouTube tutorials, not about how to. I know what YouTube is, and I know how to I know how the basics put YouTube's on, but little things about branding, and I didn't know how. I've kind of just let YouTube just kind of. But there's some things I can do on YouTube that I haven't been doing, and now if I'm more efficient, able to make do a better job of that. So that's one reason cleaning my crap out and tossing stuff away. So all good.
I'm all for it.
All good. Harold, good morning, mate. How are you? It would be
hey, Harold.
Harold, it's somebody in the West, Tuesday morning in the West.
Why are you up so early, Harold?
Well, it's 7 a.m. It's people get up early in Australia. You know this. Paul's been up an hour or more.
He's got little kids.
Yeah, but people in Australia get up early. They don't come less lazy Americans to sleep all day.
We don't sleep all day. I get up early.
The Australians get up early. They're early risers. Yeah, they're early risers. Yep, Harold's a good mate of mine in Perth. Noticed that they are having their Aussie winter, and but I believe Australia is coming out of it. They've been coming out of it, but some more improvements every day. I noticed that in Western Australia, here's an interesting little thing for you folks in the States. Over the weekend in Australia, they've started relaxing in various states, just like here, more and more numbers. And the big number was over there, and it was actually on Channel 7 News and Channel 9 News over there, was the number of folks in pubs. And I believe Western Australia leads the country in number of folks in pubs. I mean, they get 20 in now at a time.
Perth.
So not just Perth, but down at Mandurah, down there in the Margaret River, and all points in between. So
that's good.
Yes, 6:55 a.m. You're a little before 7 a.m. But yeah, you're right there, Harold. Have a great, beautiful Tuesday in the West, and great stuff over there. But yes, all good. But glad you guys are along. Let's see. Mom says want to move to New Zealand.
She wants to move to New Zealand?
Okay.
That's a little bit far.
Well, no further than Indiana, really, to get right down to it. I mean, it's you're not going to drive to New Zealand. You're not going to drive to Indiana. So
I would drive to Indiana.
You would. I meant general public.
Most general public would drive.
I did know that they're trying to get travel between Australia and New Zealand going too. So all good. But
I'm going to go start dinner.
All right, start dinner. Love you. See you. All right, I'll close this thing out here the next few minutes, but let me know what you guys are doing here. Oops. Here we go. But yes, my question earlier today, and if you guys, do you all remember, of course you did when I was talking about this earlier, Ken Osmond, who played Eddie Haskell, passed away today at 76. And I was asking earlier, did anybody out there remember? First off, remember Eddie Haskell, Leave It to Beaver? And for me, he was one of those quintessential characters of TV in my youth, and I use that word for every kiss ass that I went to high school with, junior high with, elementary school with. And you would sit there in school, and you'd say, "Well, he's an Eddie Haskell." That's how iconic that character was. That he was Eddie Haskell. let's see here. Mom says, Margaret River is the bomb. They have no problems with, yes, very much the bomb over there in Margaret River. Margaret River is this very beautiful area. It looks, if you're a Texan, Margaret River in Western Australia looks like the hill country in Texas. It's just beautiful country. The only difference is take out the area between Corpus and say Austin or maybe San Antonio more like. Just chop that land off and let it go and start your coast right there on the side of San Antonio around the Broncos. That's what Margaret River looks like. It's on the coast, like everything in Australia is on the coast, it seems like. But a beautiful hill country, beautiful valleys and wine country, but right there, it's like the Texas hill country meets the beach, and it's just beautiful down there. Beautiful area, love it a lot. Let's see here. Wrong one there. It's cold in New Zealand. Yes, right now it's wintertime in New Zealand. But that would be up toward Queenstown, that direction where the resorts are on the ski resorts are, very much so. All right, what do you guys got going on tonight? What's going on tonight? What is everybody doing? What are you watching? What are you doing? Throw me something. I want to know how you're doing. Somebody. Throw me something. Throw me something there as I spit beer everywhere. No, I mean, the good news is went to the grocery store and got the beer refill today. I didn't been wearing that grill out. We were going to see Derek and Thomas as well. Yeah, the wife bought me the grill on Father's Day a couple of years ago, and the fact that I'm gone half a year doesn't get near the. I usually use it a lot in September and October. The weather gets kind of crappy here, November, December, and I use it here and there, some in the winter, but this is the most I've used the grill April on and forever. So let's see here what we got. Freezing there. Yeah, I saw the report, the weather report too. It's one thing I do have my rotation besides my daily devotion in the morning. I also spend some time reading, sports and baseball things and that, and also I do a pretty good surf of the Australian news. So I try to keep up to date what's going on over there. And I did see the weather reports over there as well. Good to see. My brother's back in again, but yes, of course, freezing there would be, what is that Celsius? What was it going to be? I had the weather up a moment ago in Perth for today. Anyway, I had it, but I don't know where it went. All good. I got through this week, and we did get through season 2 of Better Call Saul. Which, have you guys seen this? You guys, if you've seen Breaking Bad, and you probably have seen Better Call Saul, it's a spinoff of one of the main characters from Breaking Bad, and we're now into season 3. And I got to tell you, I love it for a totally different reason. It's still dark comedy, much dark comedy with a little drama mixed in there, which is what Breaking Bad was to a degree. But I did see that. Hold on, get some more here. I thought by now we'd see a little bit more of the crime that we saw in Breaking Bad, but through season 2, it's not been nearly as crime-ridden as I thought it would be. It's still some criminal acts and still very dark here and there, not really an awful way, just kind of dark humor, but nowhere near the criminal element. But it's getting that way. Let's see here what we got here. It's been cool in Indiana, and the river behind my house is supposed to crest tomorrow toward flood stage. Look out, Mom, don't get swept away. Thomas says, hey, Danny, I'm still on duty, not ready to start drinking yet, but stop in and say hello. Glad you did, Thomas. Hope you're doing well. We saw your sister last Saturday a week ago. She came by, and we shared clippers. She cut Tommy's hair, Christy's husband, Tommy Blake, and the same shears that I use. So Tommy and I got great haircuts because our lovely wives and best friends cut their husband's hair. So but good to see you, Thomas. Hope you're doing well, bud. And let's see, Ryan, I'm going to talk greatest sports dynasty tonight. What's this? Yes, I saw that. I listened to your show today, Ryan. By the way, Ryan Hyatt Media, you want to break from whatever it is you listen to in the Metroplex or Kansas City or Australia or the Twin Cities or wherever it is you listen to radio, Ryan does a great show Monday through Friday, 11 to noon on 1340 a.m. there in Lubbock. And sports dynasties they were talking about today, Australian sports dynasties. Well, I wish Paul Morgan was here. Harold could probably help me out here. In Australian footy, you would have a lot of old school, the Geelongs and Richmonds of the world are old school. I don't know in basketball. In recent memory in baseball, the dynasties would be the Perth Heat and the Brisbane Bandits. But, gosh, I don't know my AFL history before 2000, but it would be in footy. You know, I will dig that up for you, Ryan, because I do want to. I'll find that for you on Wednesday. It would be. I want to say it's Richmond, but I don't. Let me look that up here while I'm sitting here. Let's just look that up here, because I think I am right. And Harold may know, but let's see here. Talk amongst yourselves here. Because most of the teams, the older teams in the Australian Rules Football League, the AFL, were all started in Victoria around Melbourne. And let's see here. The most championship, Premier, which actually in Australia they're called premierships. It would be, well, Collingwood was one, Carlton's another. They have 16 and 15 respectively. So it'd actually be, and then Hawthorn and Melbourne. So those four teams all right there in Victoria and Melbourne would be the more dynasties as far as most championships. But I don't know how many over the course of the years. I want to do some research on that. Paul Morgan, you're assigned to that. Give me some information on that, Paulie, my broadcast partner in Australia. But that would be my take on it. Let's see here. What's the chance of baseball there? I would say the chance of baseball in Australia is much better than the chance of baseball in America. Harold, because of you've got where the calendar sits right now. Right now, you're already in. There's Cousin Blake. Good to see you, buddy. Right now, Harold, we're already in the calendar into the baseball season, both Major League and Minor League in the States. The Australian Baseball League would not start until late November. The schedule would probably come out, usually comes out in July, but they could push it back to late July. And I hear, Harold, they'll announce the schedule, the fixture in late July, early August. That's what I understand. And I do think they'll start and play baseball. They may move the season back a bit. I think Australia, and the keys to it, Harold, they get a vaccine, well, everything's fine. The biggest thing is the travel. What will travel look like in November? Will you be able to travel not just interstate, well, intrastate you can only do, but interstate in Australia, in the Trans-Tasman corridor? Can you go from Korea to Australia, Japan to Australia, America to Australia? Those are all going to be very important. If you can do that, and then I think they start baseball in late November. That's what I think will happen. But again, it's all based upon that, the factors of A, what the situation is on the ground, which right now looks to be pretty good. B, what the travel situation is, because and that could change the league dramatically. But I would say right now, Harold, I would say it's a pretty good chance. I think things look good, although it's a lot of time between now and then. But I think the forecast is much better than it was in the States. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's looking up and down. I'm like a yo-yo. Depends on who you're talking to. Some folks think that people I've talked to think that it's a done deal. Some folks say it's not going to happen. I don't know. The American Association, where I work, is a date of May 22nd to announce what's going to happen this summer. The window right now is from late June to September. Don't know if that's going to happen, but they'll announce something in May. The big leagues are going to be, it's going to be an ambitious prospect. Like I told you guys on Twitter, I mentioned on Friday, the Major League Baseball plan is very ambitious. I think going forward for us to, in life in general, take some ambition, some really outside the box thinking to make things fly currently as things are until we, of course, have a vaccine. Good to see Brother McGuire out there. See you, man. Hope you're doing well. Face I haven't seen in a while. Miss you, man. Miss you, brother. Let's see here. Kevin saying, Kevin up in the Twin Cities says, just got done with work here in Moscow. What's going on? Kevin's not a big fan of the governor of Minnesota. Let's see here. Harold also telling me the VFL, yes, the Australian Football League, the AFL, was originally called the Victorian Football League for Victoria and Australia. So that's the reason all those teams are in Melbourne, and they've got them all scattered across the metropolitan. Picture it this way. Picture any major city, maybe Chicago. And Chicago's got 4 baseball teams or 5 and 3 NFL teams or whatever. I mean, picture them, and that's how things were circa 1920s back, most of the East. Every city had 2 teams. It was not uncommon to have 3. So let's see here. Yep, the AFL. Yep, thank you very much, Harold. Harold likes that, the baseball thing. Virtual happy hour here on a Monday. You're asking if you stop by on David D8, what is Vaughn doing? What is he doing? It's basically me and you just chatting, mostly me doing the talking. Although we do have guests on. We had my mom and Uncle Bobby on earlier. If you do want to pop on real quick, you can do that by going to this link right there. Jump on the virtual green room and jump on the show real quick. Basically, it's something I came up with the first week we were locked down to kind of keep my broadcast thing going. Not so much about sports, just to kind of engage with people. And then also bring all my friends together from all different stops on the Garden of Life. And we've different places in my world. I've had people from all stops along the journey, and I'm glad to have you guys all kind of join together and share some love in a very strange time we are in. Very strange time. But these are all archived as well on my YouTube page at Dan Vaughn Jr. It has been up for a while, but I've not taken much time with it until recently. But now I put up all the steakhouse shows, which are the ones I do for the Kansas City T-Bones on Wednesday, and then some other archived content. And also all these shows are there, and I'll be putting my cooking shows on there. I've been doing, which I got one to debut this week, which is a grilled chicken wing. I've been doing those as well. So all kinds of stuff that you can find on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's not going to change the world. You're not going to discover gold or new financing or any kind of great way to rewire your computer, but you might be entertained. That's all I can tell you. Okay. I'm violating about 100 different different YouTube rules in my YouTube channel, but let me worry. Let's see here down the bottom here. What else we got here? Time to get to work. See you on Wednesday, Ryan. Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll be listening to you on the radio. But Ryan, thank you very much today for playing the return music in your show. It was Walking on a Dream. It's the song, the band is Empire of the Sun, a techno-pop duo from Australia, from Perth, as a matter of fact, who I'm a big fan of. And I discovered them in Australia a couple of years ago. They've actually done some U.S. commercials. I love the techno-pop band Empire of the Sun. And thank you very much for playing that today, Ryan. Ryan's show in about 30 minutes is on Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Ryan Hyatt Media, go check that out. Let's see here. Love my visit to Australia. It was a millionaire. I would have, we'd spend your winters there. Yeah, well, if I was a millionaire, I'd probably do the same thing. So I don't have to bring, I don't know who was talking about. I read an article. I'm freelancing here, so give me a moment, a little leeway. Speaking of Australia, there's Jake. I read an article about a travel blog of this person who was discovered Japan on a layover and has spent 32 years basically in Tokyo. I don't know if you guys know about Narita Airport. Narita Airport's one of the 2 big airports there in Tokyo. Well, Narita was built, and they built a little town around it, which is not uncommon. You go out to O'Hare, Rosemont, Illinois. It's kind of the town around O'Hare Airport. out at DFW originally, little towns around DFW Airport, a bunch of towns are sprouted around it. And sometimes the only thing you see in Dallas-Fort Worth, if you lay over and have 8 to 12 hours, is those towns around there. And this guy wrote a blog about how he discovered Japan in this little airport layover at Haneda Airport. And the comment which resonated with me was the fact that this person fell in love with Japan, and it felt like they had a connection there despite never going there, never having a real desire to go there, but a certain connection, a certain feeling. I think people feel that about certain places, whether it be, where they're ancestral, where they're from. For me, it's West Texas. I didn't grow up there, but I spent some time there. But I spent my growing up years in Dallas, but always feel at home in West Texas. Australia was the other one. I never grew up there. I didn't spend much time there until I was older, but I felt a kinship. There's a certain feeling of belonging that you have in certain places. That maybe, for Caroline, our daughter, it's New York City. She loves New York City. And I think everybody has that place. For me, it is Australia. It's Western Australia, too. I mean, a lot of folks go to Australia and never even go to the West. They see Sydney and maybe Melbourne and the Rock, and that's about it. They don't even go west. As a matter of fact, I meet people in the big cities of Sydney and Melbourne who never go to the West and think I'm crazy for loving the West. So it's funny how certain places do grab your heart and grab your heartstrings there. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe Harold. She means our winner, not her winner. No, I mean she means her winner, not your winner. That's right. Yeah, the winner there. Yeah, let's see here. And Harold's got that. Kevin, he loves Milwaukee. I know you've told me that before. I love San Antonio. I was born in Houston, but I love San Antonio. So I mean, it's just funny how that works. It's just funny how you grab a place. I've always enjoyed my times in New Orleans. And I feel like that's kind of a cool, groovy place. Love me some Vegas. I kind of feel like, kind of enter Dean Martin going when I'm out there in Vegas, or Sinatra or whatever. But all good. Okay, a little over an hour here. Wednesday, the show will continue. Wednesday, we will do our Wednesday update. I'll find 3 great topics again, and my wife will join us, and sure my mom will join us, and you too can join us by checking in on Wednesday. And I'm going to start recruiting guests, I guess. We're going to do this as long as we're locked into whatever's in. We're locked in. We're not under lockdown. We're wearing masks. We're encouraged to work from home. Our church doesn't go back to full-time service. Well, they got services, but our church won't have people in the actual building worshiping until late July, if not early August. So, I mean, that's the world we're in. It's not the same world we were in March, whatever. But things are getting better. And I hope we'll have some more news for you on Wednesday regarding baseball, or maybe by Friday. But we'll have some fun, have a cold one, chat a bit, just have a bunch of folks just chatting a little bit around the table in our virtual pub here as we kind of wait things out and just hanging out, showing some love, and being together here on Virtual Happy Hour. Let's get that graphic up for you. There we go, Virtual Happy Hour. Glad you guys are along today, everybody out there. I've had Australia. We had a big leaguer join me watching for a bit. I love you, brother. Glad you're doing well, Jake. Fraternity brothers of mine, co-workers of mine, mates of mine in Australia, college mates, all points in between, family. Glad you guys all took the time to join us here on the Virtual Happy Hour. Make sure we got nothing else to get to here. Breakfast time. See you, mate. We will enjoy a good Aussie brekkie for me, mate. All right, enjoy it right there. All right, all good. Glad you guys were along. It is Virtual Happy Hour. We do this again every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time in the States. Adjust your clock accordingly to wherever you're at the lovely world. Again, hug somebody you're close to. Maybe somebody you don't even know. Hug them. Tell them you love them. Show some love. Let's all come out of this thing better than we went into it. How about that? All right. Blessings to all you guys. Let's see here. One more time. What we got here? Had quarantine Karen tossing a fit in the store over sanitation day. I want to hear that story on Wednesday, mate. I want to hear that on story on Wednesday. By the way, Kevin, I need to get your get a copy of the broadcast you're on in St. Paul as well. But all good. Good to see you guys. I'm going to shut things down. I'm going to pull me down, and I'm going to put the close sign up. There we go. There's the virtual happy hour sign. Let's put the close sign up and tell you guys good night for now. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Good night, everybody.